Hello and welcome to OneTV Port Harcourt. Today is 10th of May 2022. The weather is a bit cool with rains taking over this morning. Some parts of Port Harcourt are still showing signs that it rained heavily last night. But we're here and it's going to be a wonderful day. We are going to be looking at the newspaper review. My name is Didi West. I'm analyst and social mobilizer, part of BNN. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for inviting me, Didi West. Good afternoon to our viewers.
How did you cope with the rains? I hope there was no flood on your way in here.
It's natural with River State.
Yes, we get going. Today is 10th of May and we're beginning with Punch for newspaper review. Yesterday, the first thing that hit our site was Jet A1. This morning again, Jet A1. Jet A1, NNPC Airlines agree on 3-month supply at 480 naira per litre. Jet A1, NNPC Airlines agree on 3-month supply at 480 per litre. You find that on page 27 of the Punch this morning. We go on to other news there. Refineries probe. Reps grilled Silva. Kyari today. Say appearance compulsory. Refineries probe. Reps grilled Silva. Kyari today. Appearance compulsory. The last 2 or 3 times they were invited, they did not go. So the House of Reps is insisting that this time they must show. Still just above the paper's title, we have fuel queues persist in Abuja. Petrol sells at 300 naira per litre. Fuel queues persist in Abuja. Petrol sells for 300 naira per litre. That's a huge news there. See it on page 27 of the Punch this morning. We're still right at the right hand corner. We see APC rules out imposition. Group speak Jonathan Lawan's form. APC rules out imposition. Group speak Jonathan Lawan's form. There's an update on that news concerning Jonathan. We'll get to it as we move on. But you find that story on page 19 of the Punch this morning. And then just beside the paper title, we see Nigeria orders debt relief request. 650 billion loan at advanced stage, FG. So we are still dealing with foreign loans and all. FG's monthly debt servicing jumps to 101 million US dollars. FG's monthly debt servicing jumps to 101 million US dollars according to the CBN. I think this is something you want to say something about. They say that monthly debt servicing, not even paying the debts, just it's 101 million naira per month.
Well, I think experts have pointed out this earlier before now, following the last borrowing chain, and that's part of what's affecting the internal growth of the Nigerian economy. When over 1/2 of the budget is dedicated to servicing foreign and local debt, so it's not good enough. And the irony is that we have no economic reason to suffer this, because this country is enormously blessed not to depend on foreign loans.
Yes, we are enormously blessed not to depend on foreign loans. Unfortunately, that's what we are dealing with. We move on to the main title, news headline title there. It says INEC, CBN. INEC CBN partnership under threat over APC membership. That no fear over Apex Bank's governor's presidential bid. ex-INEC commissioner. You need to comment, say something on this. We're discussing of the mic. What do you think about this development?
No, clearly the implication is obvious. Ordinarily, without looking at any other statute or policies, Mefele's position violates code of conduct within this public service or civil service code of conduct rules, that you couldn't have occupied such sensitive public office and you're partisan. And in fact, as before I walked in the studio, there are reports now popping up that he had been a member of the APC as way back as 2016 or so, you know, and his words where he registered had been established. That in itself is criminal under the Nigerian laws, and it's shocking that till now those who know better have not dragged him to before the law. That it's a serious crime. But that's how, again, you know how irresponsible leadership at the helm of affair is, because this is not something the leadership of Nigeria should tolerate for 1 second. Before even this minute, the INEC raised this issue. From the word go, when the stories of him buying from, everybody was shocked to know that this is the same CBN that actually takes into custody INEC sensitive materials. So there is no way the man who leads such sensitive platform will be a member of a party that is a contestant in the process. So in all ramifications, Emefiele had violated the Nigerian laws, both as code of conduct and even the electoral laws, because he was not supposed to be seen to be partisan. So I expect that those responsible to question these issues should quickly act to quell failed nerves.
We are expecting people who should take responsibilities to quell what is going on, and fortunately we are going to delve into this matter with more details during the People's Parliament. Let's go in. It says there's three pictures telling us a story about ASU strike students protesting in Lagos, Benin, and vowing to storm the National Assembly and airports. They are saying that the federal government should stop the ASU strike now, and you won't blame them. They've been at home for something like 20 weeks, and now they have to add another 12 weeks from the report we got yesterday. We move on to another report. Buhari activates $19 billion climate pledge, 6 AFDB World Bank support. Buhari activates 19 billion naira climate pledge, 6 AFDB World Bank support. You find that on page 28 of the paper this morning. Baptist president begs abductors to release Bethel student. Baptist president begs abductors to release Bethel student. Yet another story on page 27 of that paper. We are hoping that these pleas will be heard by the abductors. FG GSM operators to meet over 40% tariff hike. We brought you information some days back that telecom companies are planning to raise their call charge, data charge, and SMS charge by 40%. And now the federal government is calling for a meeting. Look for the details of that on page 28 of the paper. And then we are coming to the last three stories on the front page of the Punch. Tinubu, Atiku, lobby delegates promise to tackle nation's disunity. Tinubu, Atiku, lobby delegates promise to tackle nation's disunity. Personally, I'm concerned about the second part of that. Which of them have not promised to tackle disunity? Which of them? From the onset of democracy, our democratic experience. Well, you go get the papers and look at it. It's on page 9 of the newspaper. We have NYSC controversy. Kwara Poly blames hacker. Impostor declared wanted. Yesterday we brought you a report that a former student of Kwara Poly graduated, finished his school work, but somebody else is using his name, his identity as to go to NYSC, and now the school is saying they blame a hacker and they blame the imposter has been declared wanted. See that on pages 4 and 5 of the newspaper. And yet another one, the abducted train passengers' families seek government intervention. They want government to intervene to ensure that their family members return home. We find in the Guardian this morning several news items from the Guardian. First, FG students kick as ASU extends strike. TED fund begins disbursement. FG students kick as ASU extends strike. Yesterday, ASU said that they extended that strike by 12 weeks, and now the federal government and students are protesting or saying it should not be so. Find the details on page 4 of the Guardian this morning. Sit-at-home order stalls schools resumption in Imo State. Sit-at-home order stalls schools resumption in Imo. You know, this happens every Monday, and they're saying that schools could not resume yesterday in Imo State. Southeast is ready to produce president of Nigeria, says Uzodinma. Governor of Imo State is saying that the state is ready to produce the next president that will take over from Buhari. Nigeria confirms outbreak of monkeypox with 558 cases, 8 deaths. I know about chickenpox. Now we are having monkeypox. God will help us. INEC set to sever CBN